It's essential for us. If we don't have bile salts, we don't digest fats. Because without the emulsification, we can't get enough digestion at the surface to accommodate the amount of fat in our diet. Now, if you don't absorb all the fat, it comes out the other end. Now, bacteria don't deal with fat very well. So you get what's called steatorrhea, which is very uncomfortable for the patient and everyone else around because it is very, very, very stinky. Right? Anybody encountered steatorrhea before? No? Well, you'll remember when you do. All right, so that's the story of emulsification. This is one of the key reasons why we need bile to make things move. All right, so let's talk about the rest of the story. Yes, we can only digest from the surface. That begins in the mouth. We have an enzyme that digests fats. It doesn't do it particularly well, and it doesn't do it for very long. Okay, that's the lingual lipase. The only thing interesting about it is that it's from the mouth. It's from the saliva, which there aren't very many enzymes there. Okay, so less than 10% of the fat digestion. Lingual lipase is not stable in low pH, so as soon as the saliva is swallowed, it's going to get killed anyway. It's going to get denatured by the stomach acid. The stomach does nothing for fat digestion. Okay, the stomach and the acid in there doesn't really affect fats. You're just going to have fat globules that are passed into the duodenum. Now, the duodenum is going to detect that, is going to release CCK, right? CCK is going to trigger the release of bile and the release of pancreatic enzymes. Some of those enzymes are lipases. So the pancreatic lipase is our most effective fat digester by a long shot. All right, so it's present in large quantities. It can digest all the fat it can reach within a minute. All right, now there again, doesn't mean all the fat in your food got digested in a minute. It's just the fat that it can get to, which is going to be dependent in part by emulsification. All right. There are some others from the pancreas. Cholesterol ester hydrolase and phospholipase A2 digest cholesterol and phospholipids, both components of cell membranes, right? And remember, everything we eat has a cell membrane, or did, right, before it was processed somehow. So we have those to digest. We add in the bile salts from the liver. That's going to come through that papilla of Vater, the sphincter of Oddi, right? And the fat is going to break up into micelles. These little guys, this is a micelle. Okay, so it's just a little stabilized fat droplet, stabilized by bile salts. So that helps to, number one, move digestion products more quickly, and it also helps with digestion and absorption. All of those things happen. Now, the final absorbed products, fats are weird in the GI tract because most of the fats in our diet are triglycerides, right? So we take a triglyceride, we break it down into a monoglyceride and 2 fatty acids. Okay, then we absorb that, and then inside the cell, they're put back together into a triglyceride. That's why they're weird. Like, why not just absorb it as a triglyceride? Because that isn't what happens. It's broken down, it's absorbed into the intestinal epithelial cells. The intestinal epithelial cells put it back together as triglyceride, and then that's what's absorbed. Okay, then also, free cholesterol and phospholipids are also absorbed unchanged. Okay, fats present a unique problem for absorption because fats don't mix with water, right? So how do you absorb fats from your diet into blood that is water-based, right? And it turns out it's a 2-step process. The fats are first absorbed through the lymphatic system, through the lacteals, up, and then they're dumped into the bloodstream as chylomicrons, which are basically fats that have a shell around them. And then those are distributed. Now you're wondering, why isn't all that on the slide? Because we're going to talk about it after the test. That's why. Okay? So some of these stories are going to continue when we get into the metabolism side. Oh, I got my thing backwards. What was the chuckle there about? More on that later, right? Was it another one of those? I do a lot of that, I'm told. All right. So picture fat, bile plus agitation. Now we got our dish soap, right, in the dish sink. So it's emulsified. We take that emulsified fat, we add our lipases from the pancreas, we get fatty acids and 2 monoglycerides.